Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hello. There's something broken, which is, I guess it's, yep. Oh man, streamer bot. Always doing annoying stuff. Give me one moment as I am trying to fix this. Edit. Yeah, I always have to deal with this really dumb stuff. Yeah, here, there, now connect. Still not working. Huh. I guess it's the password. Here is exactly the same. But why is it not working? Okay, now it's working. So basically what happened is I pressed my key, okay, yeah, to transition into the main scene, but yeah, I need to, because I'm using my controller to manage like the scenes and everything. I'm managing like the overlay scenes there, like whatever you see here, and also OBS scenes. Everything is being controlled by my controller, which I use for anyways. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's the start of the stream, okay? Hey Lou. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I'm gonna send my emoji. I always send the typical universal heart emoji. And yeah, I realized that on YouTube that's like that emoji is not going to work, but that's okay. And also in the overlay it's also not visible, so I mean I should add that. Give me one moment because there's a really annoying door that's okay. So yeah, the kitchen door was making some noises, really annoying. Okay, let me check my audio really quick. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I was saying that I would try to yeah, bits alert, try to fix delay. Then I also need to add my emojis to the overlay chat. Okay, perfect. Great. Yeah, so yeah, this is basically the tasks I have for today. Okay, well, not for today. It's the things I have to work on first of all, so that we have like some good stuff there, and so that the planet scene works better. So yeah, we're transitioning now to the beginning of the work on Voyager. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of like I don't know, my brain is a bit fuzzy right now, but it's okay, it's okay. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in my head right now, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's get into some Voyager dev stuff, right? Okay, so let me just go through the tasks I have here. So, or maybe I just I should basically just go here, hit play. So this is what we have done in the previous stream, like in the past couple of streams. I would say, yeah, this entire week we have been working on just making this scene work, okay? The planet scene. Okay, so that's not great. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit annoying that the game is like registering like clicks up there. It's not great, but whatever. So yeah, we made it work. Okay, so yeah, you can see there's a couple of bugs we need to fix. Yeah, so I have also my Discord is yeah, okay. So yeah, the scene is working now. We are getting a new planet generation like every time we hit play. Okay, every time we enter play mode, we basically have a new planet generated. Okay, hey Ciala, how you doing? Welcome. So yeah, that's pretty much working right now. We can just, like I said, we can just hit play. This, like the system is going to automatically generate a universe which contains a constellation and then a set of stars, and one of those stars is going to generate the planet that we're in, okay, or on, I don't know. But yeah, basically that's what we have been doing for the past couple of streams. That's working right now, but there's a number of issues that I'm going to show you now. So issue number one, I think you already saw it, which is basically the ledge grab is not working properly, is doing weird things, really weird things like this. Now suddenly I'm like hanging in the air, so that's great. So yeah, that's kind of broken. And collision shapes, it's not actually that. I think it must be something with all of the rework I did for the interaction systems, like all of the triggers, and I'm using raycasts and I don't know, a number of different things. And I think that it must be some silly thing that I need to adjust. So yeah. So that's one thing. Now the other thing, now the camera is fine here. You can see there's like the smoothness and yeah, it works fine. Of course, it's a really basic following camera. It's like it doesn't have any other fancy things like look ahead and stuff like that. I do have an influence system, which is basically if I have something of interest, for example here, the camera is going to try to focus like the things, well, how can I explain this? I think it could be easier if I just, yeah, I'm not sure. That's one of the first things I worked on in this project, so it has a couple of years, that system. But basically, let's say I have like I said, I have like something here. The camera is going to try to focus both things, like the astronaut and also the influence point. So it's kind of an average. And then each influence point, or maybe I should say point of interest, I don't know. Each one of those will have the influence component for the camera. So whenever the camera is at a certain range of distance, it's going to start doing that like average position, and they have sliders of how much influence they have on the camera focus, basically. So that's something I did and that was working, but yeah, I have not been testing that in a long time. But yeah, that's the only fancy thing I would say it has, like the camera has. But I would like to start working on a more, like on a better camera system with different layers of yeah, I don't know, logic and stuff. For example, that influence system is really good. I would like to use that and like refactor that probably. But also I would like to do like the look ahead. And for example, here, if we're like on this cliff, I think the camera should like maybe move a bit down. I don't know. I think it's pretty hard for this kind of game because of the nature of how everything is so like random and unpredictable. I don't know, we could do some kind of look ahead system, but yeah, I don't know. I think the main thing that I would like to have is that influence thing where maybe for some spots in the game the camera should maybe do some kind of shift so that it shows you like parts of the terrain or maybe some platforming parts that you need to look like and have a greater picture. So yeah, that's another thing we need to work on, but I think that's the thing we're going to be working on last. The other thing that's broken, and I'm only mentioning things that were working before I did all of this rework. So as you can see here, the clouds are not pixelated at all, so that's not great. I have a system that it's called Pixelator. It's basically something that grabs a camera that looks at certain things that need to be pixelated and then creates a render texture in the original core resolution of the game, which is 480 by 270. Okay, so it will be this is the original resolution for Voyager. That's the base resolution I'm using to generate everything, but I'm not using that. I'm not making everything pixel perfect because you can already see that the background parallax is really janky, like it moves. Like there's a solution to that, and that's basically not using camera smoothing, but that's an entire different topic and we can discuss that at some point, but yeah, that's not the point right now. Basically this is the actual resolution, and you can see that everything is pixelated because, well, of course the resolution is really tiny and we are scaling it up so that we can see it actually big, but the pixels are really small. But in reality the game is going to be played at 1080p, so that's the real resolution. And of course it's not pixel perfect, but I can live with that. I don't care really. I really want that smooth feeling of the camera and everything whenever you move and all that kind of thing. I do like the pixel perfect thing, but I would like to do that aesthetic in another kind of game, not in this one, because it only makes things more complicated, I think. So well, I don't know. In any case, you can see that the clouds and the planet texture are not pixelated where they should be. So yeah, there's a system that's not working for that. So that's another thing I would like to work on. Well, I have to work on. So yeah, that's another thing. And then, yeah, I don't know. I would say there's so many things that we need to work on here because it's like, this is the bare bones of the game. We can just run around and jump. And if you hold the jump button, you can jetpack. Like, I think I'm going to add some kind of jetpack mechanic. Well, it's there, but I don't know if I'm going to use it actually. I don't know, it feels fun, but I would make it like limited, not like that you can jetpack forever. So yeah, and there's, of course, you can see the background is not looping, it's not like it's basically, you can see the end of each parallax layer, background layer, I would say. So that's, of course, those are placeholders, and I need to to actually work on the whole background system. So yeah, basically I would say I think I want to see what's wrong with the pixelator thing, because yeah, it's really bothering me that those things are not getting pixelated and for some reason. So I think that's the first thing I'm going to do today. So you can see that the tasks here are basically what I have been describing right now. So I hope the pixelator system doesn't take that much time to fix. What do you use? No, it's not a shader. I think at some point I will try using like, what's the name? Oh man, I forgot about that. So render passes. That's that's the thing I was looking for. So that's not what I'm using, but I will try to do render passes in the future. So render passes is basically you can add an extra step in the, yeah, they use shaders. So it's basically, you can think of it as a full screen shader, kind of. So yeah, you can apply shaders to basically a whole layer of rendering in the render pass, basically. So that's going to be a lot more optimal than the thing that I'm doing right now, which is not terrible, but yeah, it's not the best. Yes, a shader on the frame buffer, exactly. So what I'm doing right now is I'm basically, for each thing, like, it's not for each object, but it's or is it? Well, actually, I'm not sure now, but for each object that needs to be pixelated, I have two systems. Well, it's just one system, but it has two ways of doing that. So one of the things is there's a camera that only sees one sorting layer for the sprites. So all of the objects that are on that same layer and that are under the same rendering layer, they are going to be only seen by that pixel camera, and that camera is going to render to send that to a render texture. Then the render texture is going to be already set at the original pixel resolution of the game. And then that texture is then placed in the camera, in the main camera. And now the main camera sees that texture. So yeah, I don't know how to explain that in a better way, but yeah, I don't know if it makes sense, but that's basically the system. I can do a little drawing. So we have this is the pixel camera, okay? And we have like all of the things. Okay. Just pretend that's those are the layers. So, for example, in this first layer, we have and this is not depth. I'm just describing the different planes in sprite order, basically. So you have the astronaut, and maybe in the same layers there's the terrain, for example, and maybe the tree. Okay. Then in the layer that's behind that, not behind, but in other layers, there could be, for example, the mountains. So you have the other layer here, and you can see the mountains, but those mountains are in the other sprite layer. And then you have like a couple of the other things. So the pixel camera is only going to see, this is the main camera which sees everything, okay? But then you have the pixel camera which only sees the thing, like just one layer, and maybe that layer is the clouds. Okay, so this camera only looks at the clouds and then sends that signal, that whatever it's seeing, sends that into a texture. Okay, and that texture is going to be pixelated, and then that texture is going to go into a new thing here in the camera stack. You can call it like that if you want. So the camera stack is going to see a lot of things, and also is going to see a really big square that's the size is exactly the size of the camera, and that square is going to be this but pixelated. And in this layer I can add as many things as I want, so that this camera can look at everything here and pixelate it. So for example, the planet, you can see the planet, it's also going to be there at that, in that same layer, that this camera doesn't see that. This camera, the main camera, only sees this, and this camera only sees this. So yeah, that's the process basically. This creates the texture, pixelates it, and then sends it to the main camera, calling mask. Is it the name? Yeah, I'm really bad at remembering things right now. Yeah, calling mask. Yeah, it was right actually. So yeah, that's one of the ways, but I have another way of doing this, which is because yeah, there was an issue that's really hard to explain, but basically, since I have like smooth camera, whenever you like this thing is actually an object that's parented, like the actual thing that goes into the main camera is actually a sprite that goes parented to the main camera. So wherever the main camera moves, that object is going to move too, so that the camera always has that sprite in the face. Okay, so that's how it works. But the thing is, whenever the camera starts moving like with parallax and smoothing and everything, since this texture is pixelated, there's something that makes it move a bit janky and with like a lot of jitter. So I needed to do something to solve that, and it was really a pain, and I did solve that, but it didn't look great. So what I did was just create another way of pixelating things, which was basically just, instead of doing this and sending the pixelated version to a sprite that's inside the camera and blah blah blah, all that crap, what I did is basically do like kind of a bake pixelation, so that now I have a camera for each object. So for example, the planet, okay, is a sprite. So that's a planet, okay? So each thing is going to be a sprite, right? It's a sprite in the scene, okay? So this sprite is going to be only seen by this camera, and then the process is the same. This is going to pixelate the texture, and then this texture is going to be sent to a real sprite, okay? Pretend that's the pixelated planet, okay? So it's kind of the same thing as this, but now this is a new sprite that goes in the place where this is really, and then the real sprite that's not pixelated is going to be in a really far coordinate that you cannot see, and then this thing is going to be in the place where where the real object is. So yeah, I don't know, my explanation was really bad, but I hope that made sense at some point. So anyways, maybe if I show you this here, it will be a bit easier to understand. So you can see I have these planets off-screen rendering or really at another location. No, it's like off-screen basically. So you know, like this is the real camera that sees everything in the game, and this is the real planet sprite. But now whenever I hit play, what will happen is this real planet is going to get placed like here in Narnia basically. Like really far away, and there's going to be a camera that only sees this sprite, pixelates it, and then puts the pixelated version is going to be set in the real position where the planet originally was. Okay, so yeah, that's basically, I'm just grabbing the real sprite, I'm sending it to a really far position, pixelating it, and then creating a new sprite that will have the pixelated texture and placed in where the planet needs to be. Okay, so yeah, I hope that makes sense. So you can see here I have this object which is pixelator bake. This is the camera I'm talking about, and then this is going to, in play mode, is going to create the texture. And yeah, I can actually just hit play here and see what happens. So you can see here the real planet is still here. Well, yeah, so this is the real sprite. You can see sprite. This is the real one, I think. Yeah. And it has the planet material with all of the shader values for the texture actually. But then the pixelator bake, yeah, so it has this thing which is called result sprite, which should be the pixelated version, but now sorry, right now you can see it's disabled and it's not doing anything, so I'm not sure what's happening with this. I don't know why this is not working. So yeah, and now I actually don't remember if it worked at all in the, if that's working in the planetary system scene. I think it is. So you can see here I have the 4 planets, like the 4 planets. Yeah, I set them the different the 4 different sizes just for having them here in the scene, but then those are going to be managed by the system. Whenever you enter here, it's going to say, okay, there's one planet and it's that size and blah blah blah, and disable the other ones, and that's going to happen automatically. But yeah, they are not pixelated from the get-go. So whenever I hit play, whatever planet or system is generated, you can see that they're going to be really far away, because like, yeah, that's how I created the actual space and whatever. Yeah, you can see here, wow, those 3 generated like really close from each other. So yeah, those are being pixelated. You can see here they are getting pixelated, but I don't actually know why it's not happening in the actual planet scene. So let's see. So this is this planet, okay? So the sprite, you can see here now, it's another sprite called pixelator bake, and this is the pixelated version, and it's occupying the position, the real position of the planet. And then the real sprite is here. It's like at 5000 in the y-axis. So this is the real one, and it's being captured by this camera. Okay, so you can see that whenever I move this camera, this one is going to look weird because the camera is not capturing it's not centered. But if I go here, like, that's the idea, the camera is going to be centered, okay, and it's going to have a really tiny clipping plane, so that it only sees this thing and that's it. So yeah, that's for each sprite that needs to be pixelated. Now, I don't know, there's not a lot of things that I'm going to be pixelating in the game. Like, I think maybe the planet and maybe the clouds and I don't know, like maybe some VFX and particles, but yeah, there's going to be some procedural stuff I'm going to do with shaders and also with particles that will need to be pixelated. But I think it's not going to be a big deal. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I shouldn't worry about this right now. I can, of course, like, improve the system and optimize it later. So for now, this is perfectly fine. Okay, in any case, I just wanted to make sure it was working in the, like, at some point. So now I can confirm that it is. So yeah, here, what's happening actually? Let me see, because so yeah, the planet, like here, this one is just placed, it's there because it, whatever, but in reality, you, what I will do is, I would say, okay, so how many planets does this star has in the system? Okay, so, and then I will say, okay, which ones are closest to this planet where you're on right now? And then I will put those, like the planets, or the planet or planets that are close to this planet where you're on, are going to be visible in the sky. But yeah, just a simple thing. But right now, this planet is just placed by hand here, just so I can have something in the background and for testing, basically. Imagine we would see Jupiter in the sky like that. Yeah, so if I get to a point where I make ringed planets, which of course I want to do, but yeah, of course. So yeah, you can also, like, you should also be able to see like planets like at different sizes and maybe really tiny because it's really far away, like that, or maybe like this. You can see like that. Moons, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Moons are going to be a thing also in this game. That's for sure. So yeah. Okay, so what am I thinking about now? Yeah, so I don't know what's really happening here. I have this set, which is use pixelator. I think I might know what's happening. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I know what's happening. Some texture filtering? No, you know what? I think it's as simple as this. Like before this, like the planet would initialize itself. So whenever it initializes, it's going to say, okay, pixelator, initialize and pixelate and blah, blah, blah. And it would initialize all of the systems itself. But now I have to do that manually from the actual system that's going to handle those things. So in the planetary system, I have a manager that goes and says, okay, so this star has 3 planets. Okay, so I'm going to grab the 4 planets I have in the list, in the array. I'm going to disable the last one and I'm going to initialize each one and say, okay, initialize you and you and you. And so that it's basically being done by the system that knows the information about the stars, so that whatever. So I think that's what I think it's happening. So let me see, celestial object, init, background object. Yeah, exactly. So you can see the awake. This is going to be like, this runs for anything that's a mono behavior in the game, in the project. So if you have an object that has a script with an awake in it, is going to run the code here. It doesn't need anything to tell it to run. It's automatic. So I had the init function there, but now I removed it from here because now this should be called from elsewhere. So yeah, you can see here initialize pixelator. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, who controls the thing? So yeah, this is a background object, so it shouldn't be controlling itself. It needs to know, like, it's just there waiting for something to initialize it and say, okay, this is your sprite, now initialize and pixelate, and that's it. And that should be done by the planet system. So that's why I have this. This is kind of the manager of the planet scene, of the planet section. The planet are data. The pixelator should say, let me find all the planets and move them out of the scene. Yeah, so that's, the pixelator is going to be doing that for each one, but it's not like a global system. Is something that works for whatever thing has that component. So for example, planet has its own pixelator thing. So this is only going to control whatever happens to this planet. So, but then, for example, I have the clouds, and clouds have its own pixelator. Yeah. So yeah, each thing is going to contain its own pixelator component, and that's going to take care of itself, and that's it. There's no such thing as a global pixelator that's going to grab all of the things and pixelate everything. That's done by, like, individually. So what needs to happen is that the planet system should actually go like planet system should, or maybe background system. I think I have a background. Yeah, actually I don't have. But basically, yeah. So yeah, in the planet system or somewhere, I should have the list of the planets that can be seen in the sky. Okay, so I can, that's another decision I have to make. So for example, I could say, okay, so I want there to be a maximum of 3 visible planets in the background in the sky, and that's it. So that's something I need to decide. It can be random, like it can be random, but I don't want it to be random because like when I say random, I say like the actual real amount, like the minimum and maximum. I want to have control over that. Like the same way I have control over how many planets a star can have. So I established that stars can have between 1 and 4, and that's it. That's my decision. It's not something that's going to be completely random, because if I let the computer decide and the randomness decide, maybe we have a star with 1,000 planets. I don't know, that's not great. So it's a silly example, but in this case it's kind of the same. It's just an aesthetic thing that I can say, okay, so I don't know, maybe I just want, like, whenever you're on a planet, if there's another planet that's visible in the sky, just so that's like a visual thing, because it's not something that's going to add to the mechanic or anything. This is just a visual thing. I need to say, okay, I want it to be maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 if they are small, and that's it. And that's counting a moon, for example. If the planet has a moon or 2 or 3 moons, I don't know. So yeah, I think that's a like reasonable number. and also that needs to be like limited by actually the size of them, because if we have a planet in the background that's like this big, okay, maybe it looks really cool. So you can see there, like in the game, maybe it looks really cool, like the planet really big there. It's like, oh, it's really close. I don't know, that maybe looks cool, but what happens if we have 3 planets like this? Then it looks really weird. So there needs to be like a balance in there. So yeah, there's conditions that I need to set. So I want a max of 3 planets, but depending on their size, and maybe if there's one planet in the background that's too big, that maybe that's the only planet you can see, and that's it. I don't know. So yeah, those are things I need to decide. And then whenever I actually finish deciding and establishing those things, I can go into the system and say, okay, so now I can create an array, because I know that max there's going to be 3 planets in the background. So now I will create an array and I will have 3 planets here. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, and 3. And then I will say, okay, planet system, I have those to the array. And then the planet system is going to initialize those planets with the same information that, like, those are going to be the planets that are actually in the planetary system. Okay, so the planets, the same planets you saw in the planetary system when you were in space, like going around, exploring in your starship, you might be able to see one of those planets here in the background too. That's a really cool thing, I think. So yeah, for now, I will just keep it at 1, and that's it. So you might get 1 or none planet visible in the background. And for that, I think I should create some kind of thing. So yeah, I'm thinking that, yeah, so now going back to the thing I was actually going to work on, which is fixing the pixelator that's not working. So I know that for that to work, I actually need to initialize the actual sprite. So yeah, I think I'm not going to bother with this right now because, well, I don't know. Because, like, actually when I work on that, I would like to work on that when I have, like, properly structured, like, the things that I need to set to the planet from the actual generation. So what the hell am I talking about? Basically, right now, the planet only has these mountains and those trees layers, and that's it, in the planet and the sky and the sun. And all of that, like, most of the things are just hand placed by me, just so I can test and have something in the background and blah blah blah. But all of those things are actually not being generated right now. So when I hit play, whenever I hit play, there's only a couple things that are actually being generated, which is, first of all, the color of the sky. You can see here is kind of a reddish, and now it's getting into the yellows because it's sunrise is getting, like, into the morning. And the clouds. Okay, so the clouds, you can see the cloud shapes are actually changing every time I hit play, and the sky and the color of the sky. Those things are the only things that are changing and being generated whenever I hit play. But all of the other things, like the background and the planet there, those are static things that I just hand placed, and they are just there. Nothing's happening with them. So whenever I start actually working on the moment where those things are going to be generated and selected procedurally and blah 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 blah, I think just there I should start worrying about the when everything is initialized and blah blah blah. For now, I think the most urgent thing for me to work on is just to fix the ledge grab thing, which is sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So you can see here I'm getting so many errors whenever I go and try to ledge grab, and sometimes I get thrown into the sky, or like I grab into something invisible. And so I think that's has to do with all of my reworks. So yeah, I'm actually going to move this again down here, and for this I would say planet, and then here I would say initialize background objects. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the astronaut systems and all that. So yeah, we should just go here and see what the hell is wrong with this. So contact position, interaction info, other call, closest point, top bound position. So what the hell is other.call null? That could be the case. Yeah, let's see what the hell is happening. Oh yeah, I know what's happening. Yeah, actually know what's happening. So remember that when I worked in the interaction system, basically what I did is say that everything that has a collider needs to have an interaction system. So yeah, basically that's not the case for the ground because it doesn't have an interaction area basically. But now the question is, should I add that to the ground? Like the ground is basically all of the terrain is going to have yeah, so let me show you. It's easier if I show you. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the other thing that's also being generated procedurally whenever I hit play is the terrain. You can see that here. If I activate all of the objects in the terrain, you can see I have some formations, some mountains, some valleys. That's because I was playing so much with, like, for so many months and days and weeks and whatever, I played so much with the actual like noise values and algorithms and stuff to get like interesting things like formations for planets. So I think this is pretty good because you have some different things. You have some plains there, like some places where you can clearly see that we could put some water. For example, here there could be a lake there, for example, and then there's those pillars here which look really interesting here, for example, and then we have the actual mountain which is really tall and you can climb. I don't know, I think I have a pretty, I don't know, interesting noise generation algorithm, so yeah, but I might work on that in the future. So anyways, the terrain basically has I'm going to disable this. Oh yeah, I can see the colliders. So you can see, maybe you can see there, I don't know, because there's so many white lines. But you can see here, this is the collider. This is basically this is basically the yeah, I got distracted because I saw something in the thing, but that's the ground collision. Basically, this is the ground collider. Okay, it's basically all of the tiles have collisions, and it's a really big composite collider, which is the optimal way to do it. So each I'm separating everything by chunks. Okay, so whenever you move, so that everything doesn't need to be activated, like enabled all the time, of course. So it only activates whenever you're there, okay, when you're close. So that's for, of course, for optimization. And each one of the chunks has its own collision thing, okay. So what I need to do is basically go here in the ground tile map. I should add the interaction area component. So yeah, I think that's what I need. So like that's one way to do it, and the other way is to basically not try to get the other in the interaction info. I think I could, like, you see here, like I have other, which is interaction area, because I know that interaction areas are only colliding with each other. Like, it's the only thing that an interaction area can collide with is another interaction area. But now, since I had to do this little walk around that makes the player detect the ground too, so the interaction area can also detect the ground, because it was buggy. So now whenever the interaction area of the player, which is the collider that detects the ground to make it stop and make it be grounded, that interaction area is not going to have an other thing, because the ground doesn't have an interaction area. So whenever it creates the interaction info, what's going to happen is this is going to be null. So that's what's happening now. And yeah, so that makes me think of two solutions, which is, number one is to create a new variable here just called other call, for example. So I could do something like this, public collider to the other call. So I can do that, and whenever this is getting like set, whenever this is being set, I can do here, for example, other call equals other, and that's it. Because the other is already a collider. So that's one thing I could do. And then contact point, I could check if other is null. Then I could say, well, what's this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, actually this should actually work already. Yeah. Okay, I will do that then. Okay, let's do that then. So perfect. So now they should work actually. So let me see what other places I'm doing this thing. I think this is the only place where I'm checking for the interaction info thing. Because you can see here in the ground, just for detecting if the astronaut is grounded, I'm using raycasts, and those are basically not using the interaction system at all, which I think at some point they should, but yeah, for now, this is how it works, and I will rework that at some point, but yeah. And also, I have everything, like all of the classes for detecting like the environment, and also the ground, and also ledges, and yeah, all of that is in the same script. I should move that into separate scripts. So yeah. So this is saying that, yeah, I'm so down because I didn't need to add parentheses there. So yeah. Anyways, now this should work. Let's see what happens. Oh, I was in play mode. Okay. Okay, so that's a good thing, because then I don't need to add anything into the ground thing. I'm happy that the ground is only like the tiles and a collider, and that's it. Then everything that needs to happen for the player or for any entity to be able to detect the ground or whatever, that's gonna happen in the actual entity and not in the ground. Okay, so now it should work, but we'll see. Okay. Well, I can actually just maximize this. I think it's gonna be easier. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now it works. Now it works again. So yeah, basically how it works, is like you need to be pressing towards like the direction towards the ledge. So for example, now if I do this, I drop the I'm not pressing anything, and it's not going to grab. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. For me, it's better. And I've noticed that, for example, I've been playing the new Shinobi game, Art of Vengeance it's called. And I've noticed that, for example, if you jump here without pressing any direction, like now I'm going to jump, it automatically grabs the ledge. And for me, that's annoying. Because I don't always want the character to grab the ledge if I'm jumping here. Because imagine if there's an enemy here and I just want to jump and attack and then fall down again. I can't do that because it's going to automatically grab the ledge, and it also climbs. It doesn't like stay there. But what I did is basically you have to jump and press towards the ledge. Okay? And then it hangs there and you can press down and it drops. Or you can press again forward, in this case like left, and it will climb. So that's what I did. That's the way I did it, and I think that's I don't know, the way I feel like it's the best, at least for me. Maybe some players will disagree, but for me is the I don't know, it feels better for me. So yeah, okay, great. Now it's working. I can actually just go here and push this. I don't usually push every time everything, but now I feel like I should, because now this is working, and why not? Okay. And I also fixed a lot of things. So planet updated. Planet theme is now working standalone. I think that's a like the correct expression. Like I can just hit play there and whatever. Okay, great. Now I can push here. Okay. Amazing. Perfect. I don't know what that little arrow means. Never saw that. I can see there's a couple other places, but yeah. Give me one moment. I will close a door that's heating so much. Okay, perfect. Oh, you know what? I forgot to thank A-Frame for the latest follow. So yeah, thank you very much for A-Frame for the latest follow. I didn't realize. I think that's because the name, like the amount of followers is still the same. That might be because somebody unfollowed, but yeah. Yeah, and A-Frame is a really nice guy. He's a speed runner. He holds the world record for Shinobi 3. It's a amazing run. So yeah, I think he followed me after I was chatting on his stream. I've been following him since, I don't know, a couple years ago. But yeah, anyways, thank you again for the follow. Okay. And I think YouTube is again like starting to get a little traction. So yeah, I think I'm getting like one, like maybe two. Yeah, whenever I stream, like the day after, I get a one more like +1 subscriber, which is really good. Of course, we want more and more. At some point we will get there, but yeah, it's great. So now that this is fixed, I can go here and just oh yeah, I should actually just rework this because it is working like perfectly, but I think I should tie this environment detection system with the interaction area system, I think, because I'm kind of using both like colliders and raycasts for that. So yeah, I was thinking about doing something like this. So I have the astronaut and I have systems and I have senses. Now the senses class has a reference to each one of the environment detection systems, and I mean that's not bad, but yeah, those are like serializable classes, and I think those should be mono behaviors, I think, just so that I can go here and create a new empty object and have each one of these be, I don't know, its own object. I think that's kind of the way I like for like organizing my systems and everything in the hierarchy. I think that's a good way. I don't know, that's how I like to do it. But you can also see here I have enemy sight, which it's really nothing right now because there's no, well, there is one enemy in the game, but it's, I don't know. So yeah, I'm thinking that I should move this away, like not away, but to another place. So I'm trying to think what's the best way of doing this, because I kind of like having this here like that. Like I can just open this and this is all of the settings I need for the detection and everything, but like I think it shouldn't be something that within the senses class, it should be separated from that. So for example, here I have this header environment detection. Maybe that should be its own script, and then inside I could have those things. But you can see here, for example, well, not for this or for this, but for ledge detection, I am using a trigger to detect a ledge and then do the ray casts. So I'm thinking that I maybe should yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Yeah, maybe it's time for me to actually work on a, well, actually rework or refactor the, okay. So yeah, I think that's going to be a good thing to do, because there's no reason for me to have all of this if the character, if the entity is not going to use all of them. I mean, it should only have the things it is going to use. So enemy sight, why is that there if the astronaut is not an enemy? You know what I mean? So yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we should start with that. So let's go into the environment detection. Okay, so we have this, and I can go here and create a new folder called environment detection. Okay, which actually could be called environment awareness. Whatever, this already has a name and I will stick to that. Okay, so environment detection, perfect. I can close that. Now each one of these, well, actually this should be what? Okay, this should be a mono behavior. Okay. Oh yeah. And this, I guess this should be tagged to check. Okay. Perfect. Now what I think I should do is just remove that system serializable blah blah blah. Okay, because they're not going to be serializable things. They're going to be mono behaviors. So yeah, also here, and I can remove this. And then from here, I can just go, yeah, environment. Whatever. I need to do this. Move type to environment detection dot environment dot cs. It's perfect. Then I should go here and say that. Then I should go here and say that. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. That's perfect. Now I can go here and I should have the other scripts here. I'm not actually seeing them. Maybe it needs to compile or whatever. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So now, yeah, yeah, you know, I might need to undo everything because I kind of needed all of the values that are already set there. So yeah, I'm going to discard this and then copy all of the values for each one of the things, and then I will do this again. Okay, so yeah, you can see here I have some values, and oh no, oh, that's really bad. Oh no, if I press Control S, ah man, that's really bad. Or maybe if I go to the astronaut prefab again, it should have the values. Yeah, okay. I got scared for a moment. Okay, So this is not using the environment one, but it is using the ground and ledge detection. So what I will do is just grab a screenshot here. That's perfect. And then the other thing, because there's another entity that exists now in the game, which is the... What's the name? The quadstruct. Okay, because it's a quad and it's abstract. So this is the other entity that exists in the world, in Voyager universe right now. So yeah, it has this, yeah. Is this a prefab variant? Huh. It actually has exactly the same, yeah, the same values. So what is it using for? Well, I actually don't know, because this is a prefab variant. But it's a variant from entity, so that should be fine. Well, I actually don't know, so whatever, we're just going to leave it there. I don't care. We're going to go back into the astronaut prefab. Then, since we have all of the variables already set there, I can go again into the environment detection thing, and I can go into census here. Now everything again, environment detection. I can move this here. I'll close that, and then I will do the same thing again, which is just going here, removing all of that. Okay, this is not a really scalable way of doing things. I mean, the way it is right now. But what I'm going to do is better. Okay, and then this should be tagged to check. Perfect. And now I can do the same thing I was doing before. So just go here and move each one of the classes into their own script. Okay, that's perfect. Now I can go here and say environment blah blah blah. Then I can say environment ground and then ledge. Okay, great. Camera is a bit too high, right? Okay, that's better. So that's because I'm a bit laid back. Now, do I like this being a partial class? Let me think about this for a moment. Like, yeah, I don't like this being a partial class. And this broke the thing, the region thing there. Why is this not oh yeah, I need to have this as protected. Camera was okay. Oh, okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So I kind of like having this, like environment detection dot whatever. But I'm thinking that I should create this census namespace. Okay, so now I can go here and do this. I think that's going to be better. Yeah, actually. Perfect. So now I can remove this here and also here. Perfect. Now, as you can see, we have so many errors. Yeah, so I have to go into the census class and fix blah blah blah, but this is really good because now I have its own, like each one of these has its own script, which is perfect. And yeah, I could have called this like ledge detection or something like that, but whatever. Now, yeah, I have quite a bit of trouble here. So also, yeah, the thing is, now if I'm using the census namespace here, I think there's going to be other places where this breaks. Yeah. Let's see, 11 references. So in all of those places, I will need to add the census thing, which, yeah, I don't know, is this worth it at all? Yeah, I don't think it is. I actually don't think this is worth it, so I'm going to undo that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, because I can, and it's the moment where I should do it. Going to, what the hell with this? Oh yeah. Yeah, so what I would do is rename this. So I will set it to awareness here, but then for other ones it's going to be ground detection. Okay, and then this one is going to be ledge detection. That's how I will rename the scripts too. So I will do that now. Yeah, I kind of like it being like this, but I don't think it's practical for me. So, and here, oh, okay, it is changing now. Okay. Ground detection and then ledge detection. Okay. So yeah, we will have like a wall detection class 2 and those kind of things in the future. For now I have this, which is great. Yeah, okay. Now now do I need this? Like what is this doing? Heatbugs, hurtbugs, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's some other stuff I need to work on later. But the environment awareness, oh, I need to initialize them actually. Yeah, that's not great. So what am I doing with this? I'm just initializing it. Where, like, oh. So environment awareness here, set custom direction. What's this? direction. So what's direction? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, those are basically values for the raycast. So where they should go, like. So yeah, I should be more descriptive about these things. So I should be calling this ray origin. That's going to be much better. I'm sensing a weird smell, so I don't know if something is like melting or what the hell's happening, because yeah, I will be right back. I need to check something. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, basically I don't know, there's something with the chat rules, like the auto mod. I think it's messing up some, like there you cannot like put the same message twice, and also you can't paste links. Yeah, whatever. I don't know, I have to set that up at some point. But yeah. Okay, close. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Actually, chat delays it's huge. So yeah. I don't know, like if there's another setting I can change for lowering the delay. I don't think I have the lowest delay, but I have the standard one, which should be like 3 seconds, I guess. But maybe it's not enough. But yeah, I don't know if there's like some kind of restriction for using like the lowest latency possible, like the lowest delay for chat and stuff like that. Yeah, and also like caps don't work, so I guess I should fix that too, because it's looking for the exact like exclamation P in like non-caps and then the number. Yeah, some silly things I need to fix. Whatever. There's just one. It will be really, really bad for me if I don't let you win, right? Okay, maybe this one. No, I don't think so. So close. Okay. Oh, okay, saved. Yeah, I think here you might need to change into P2 again. Yeah. Oh no, actually, no. It was good on position 3. Yeah. Now you should go into P1. Yeah. Is this going to hit? I don't think so. Yeah, no, it's too far. The thing that this is the ball is really slow because of the delay and everything to make it work, but then it's like anxiety inducing. No, and it literally bugged everything. Yeah, I think it like the actual positioning has a little cooldown so that it doesn't like do crazy things whenever you change the position. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, I don't have like a lot of time left, so is it okay if I go back to the main scene? Enough. The frustration. Okay. Let's go into let me just play myself. I will try to win. I will take revenge. P2? No, yeah, I think so. Okay, this might be the one. Okay. No, it isn't. Is it P3 now? P1? Yeah, P1. Okay. Yeah, we might need some more cycles. A couple more cycles. Is it P2 now? Ah, okay, it worked. Now this one is going to hit. Yeah. Okay, we won. Okay, right. Okay. So, let's go. So now, Set custom direction. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, that's great. So now what I'm thinking is ledge detection. Now this is, yeah. Now the thing is, should it go under senses? Like, should senses be the one that holds references to the detection things? Like, I'm thinking that I could do something like this. So for example, so this is detecting blah 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 whatever. So for example here, yeah, I don't think I can do this. Get I don't know if I can do this actually. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it might be possible, but I don't actually know how to do it. So I think what I'm going to do here is, because instead of like something initializing this could be initialized like by itself, I guess. But yeah, it needs the reference to senses. So for example here, I think here, yeah, senses blah 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 blah. So what I think I will do is just remove this. Okay. And then go here and say public environment detection. And then go here, and instead of like doing this, I should go like, yeah, and this enemy site thing, I should remove it entirely, because yeah, it doesn't make any sense actually. So let's just, oh, you know what, it might be actually being used by something. Well, I'm just going to leave it there and work on that another time. But for the environment detection, I should do this. I think that's going to be the best thing. Because not every entity is going to have like ledge grab, for example, ledge detection. So this is just going to be like initializing whatever you need. And then here, yeah, I can see that there's a couple issues. So manage ground detection. Where is this being handled? Here. So instead of this, I think this shouldn't be like here. I guess like each state. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the hard part. Like, I'm thinking that I would like to have, like, for example, the ledge grab state is the only place where I need to be checking the ledge detection and blah 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 and all of that. But should I have a direct reference to the ledge detection in that state? Because that's something that is kind of relevant to the senses class. So like, So yeah, I think I'm coming to like, I'm getting to some kind of clash between two like structure patterns, which is, for example, in this case, I'm trying to use component-based design for the structure of this, but at the same time, I kind of need to access like the different environment detection systems from the states, but like each state needs a different system. So yeah, how does that design should look like? How is that structure supposed to look like? Those are the questions I don't have an answer for, because I'm not a software engineer. But yeah, I think like, since I have this as an array, like, for example, am I using something like specific here? Get ledge position. Yeah, I can see a lot of hard-coded things there, which is not great. But so, for example, here in the ledge grab, yeah, I do have like unique implementations in each one of the different systems. So what the hell is reset grab doing? For example, can grab on CD, blah blah blah. So yeah, vector array are pre-allocated blocks of memory in sequence. I'm not sure what you're referring to. First size is 8 or 16. Yeah, actually I'm quite lost. And then they double. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm kinda lost. But yeah. What I'm saying is that, didn't you ask about vector structure? Oh, no. No. I'm talking about like the design of the classes so that they are modular, and I'm trying to use a pattern for entities, which is component based. So what I'm trying to say is, I have this thing called environment detection, which is a base class, and then I have classes that derive from this. Okay, for example, one of them is ledge detection. So environment detection has its logic for detecting something with a raycast. Okay, and then ledge detection inherits from environment detection because it uses the same logic, but it does other things specifically for handling ledge detection, or the astronaut to grab the ledge and then climb and blah blah blah. So it has its own logic and derives some of the things from the base class. Now, ledge detection is an environment detection because it inherits from it. What I'm trying to say is, before I had a reference here in the census class, I had a reference to each one of the environment detection types. Okay, each one of the subsystems, I would say, for example. So ledge detection is a subsystem. No, it's not an enumeration. It's like object-oriented programming. Basically, this is a class that inherits from this. So you could say that in this array I can I can add a ledge detection because it is an environment detection. This is basic like polymorphism basically. So before I had a direct reference to ledge detection and ground detection and blah blah blah, so I had variables for that. But what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to solve in my head is, how can I like structure this so that I don't have variables that are never used for some characters or systems or entities, for example. So let me give you an easier example. The astronaut, which is the player, will use the ground detection and ledge detection because it needs to detect the ground to be grounded and walk and run and jump. And then it needs to have the ledge detection so that it can grab the ledge and climb and okay. But there could be other entities, like for example, I don't know, a flying enemy that doesn't care about the ground detection or the ledge detection. They only fly and just don't care about the ground or any of that. So every entity is going to have a census component. So I feel like there's something wrong if I do like public ledge detection and then public ground detection, you know, because why should I have this here for the flying enemies if they are not going to use it, you know? So what I'm trying to do now is have something like structure this class in such a way that that's why I'm making an array here, so that every entity can add to the array only the things that it's going to use. Entity component system. Use the entity ID to find the other components. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was trying to think, like, because for example, now the thing is, like, I have now this is better because now this is much better because I have this array which, for example, the player inside this array is going to have a reference to the ground detection and ledge detection, but then the flying enemy maybe doesn't have any environment detection. Okay, so that's why I made this array so that this is flexible and dynamic. But now the other like issue I have is that, for example, astronaut in the ledge grab state, this is a state that handles what happens whenever the player is grabbed to the ledge. This needs to access the ledge detection script class, the component. But now Census doesn't have that, it has this, which is a more abstract reference. So I can, like, it's not a clean way to do environment detections 2, because I know the index 2 is that's not clean, because I might move around or add more systems or components of this type to the array. So what I would like to do is something like this. Maybe you know how to do this, but for example, I would like to do something like get environment detection, and then here I can say, for example, type of ledge detection, and that would give me the actual, like, it will search, like here in the census class, it will search through this array and check which one of those in the array is a ledge grab class. Is that clear? So that's what I need, but I don't know how to do the method. Like, that is how you should go, yeah, but I actually don't know how to do it, because if I do this, and go like this for loop and go through environment detections, not length, you might have already realized what's wrong with this. So if environment detections I can do this is ledge detection return this. Why is it not working? Oh yeah, as ledge detection. And then return null so it doesn't complain. So I can do this, but again, I'm doing the same thing again. I'm doing like a static reference for this type of class, and my idea is that I should like this exactly. That's wrong. What I want is that this is abstract so that I can pass the type here like in the as a parameter, and then this, instead of ledge detection being like explicit, I want this to be an abstract type. Sorry. Can you do generic template in C#? I don't know what that means. So I know there's T, which is like type, but I'm not sure type. I'm actually not sure what I can do, like how I can do this. So, well, actually, you know what? I could do this with Copilot maybe. Let's see what Copilot says. I'm going to create a method that returns. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay, this is what I wanted basically. Yeah, see, for this kind of thing, Copilot is really useful. So yeah, that's actually perfect. So that was so easy, man. So like it's good because like this is not an irresponsible use of Copilot. Yeah, I'm not trying to excuse myself for using Copilot. That's fine if anyone wants to use Copilot. But what I'm saying is, it's dangerous to use Copilot to do everything for you when you don't know what you're doing actually. But here I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and told Copilot, hey, I want that, but I don't know how to write it, and then it did it for me because I didn't know the syntax for this. So that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, that's basically exactly what I wanted. So now I'm going to disable it again, and I can go here and do this, and here I can yeah, here I should have ledge detection, and this is basically going to be so this would be ledge detection if ledge detection equals null. I think I can do something like this. Get environment detection. Yeah, that's not what we need. And then here, ledge detection. Yeah, that's perfect. Now imagine to rename that method get component. Which method? This one, the get environment detection? Are you saying this should be called like get environment detection component or something like that? I guess this should be type. I guess. Why is it not working? Do I need to do this? Yeah, it works now. Okay, so that's actually perfect. That's actually perfect. So now this is going to, every time we enter, why is this complaining? Use null comparison. What's this? Oh yeah, whatever. So if yeah, okay. Your edge is an optional. Yeah, it could be null. So yeah, that's this is the better way of doing this. So now every time we enter this state, this is going to check, hey, is this null? Okay, grab it from the census thing. So that's actually perfect. Well, I'm not saying it's the best way you can do this, of course, but it can still, it can be still null. Yeah, like I'm also not checking like afterwards if it's null, but that's because I know that the astronaut needs this component. That's something that I know, and I decided that it will have that. So if this throws errors, it's because I did something wrong, not because it's because I didn't set this component in the inspector. So I think that's something I don't care. So yeah, the cleaner way would be to do it, like to check again if it's null and then do some kind of special log that says blah blah blah. But for me it's fine for now. Maybe I check for null and warning message. Yeah, so that's basically what would be the cleanest way, but the cleaner way. But right now I don't care, and if I get an error here at this line, I know that's going to be the ledge detections thing. So now that's perfect actually. And then there's a couple other places where I need to fix this, and I actually should go now because I need to go. But now manage ground detection. Oh yeah, I need to see what was I doing there. Is this in the, yeah, fixed update? So where's census? Yeah, so this is what I need to do. Oh, this is going to, huh. Well, that's interesting. So, well, yeah, that's something I would need to do. Okay. Yeah, so ground detection. This should have a boolean grounded. Well, it should be called, yeah, grounded is fine. And then detected, instead of using detected here, I'm going to say grounded. And then here, instead of doing this, I'm going to do this. And then on enter, whenever I enter here, I'm going to do exactly the same thing, like ground detection. And here I'm going to do again, if ground detection is null, ground detection equals census.get environment detection type ground detection. Perfect. And now here I will do ground detection dot that all set grounded. Okay, so here under census I have a set grounded method somewhere. Set grounded, where is it? Set grounded, yeah, it's here. And I also need to remove the is grounded variable. Where is it? Is grounded. Well, it has so many references everywhere. Huh. It's not great, actually. Yeah, maybe I need to preserve this. Okay. And then here I should say senses dot is grounded, and then here it's senses dot set grounded. Okay, yeah, that's actually okay, perfect. So here I also need a reference to ledge detection here. So I would do the same thing with the ledge detection variable. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I will do this like this right now because I think that's the better way right now, but I will take a look at this in the future and maybe I will change it at some point. But I think like those systems should be referenced from the states that need to know about those. And here in the census class I shouldn't have like so many things. Like there's so much clutter here, like so many things happening, and it's breaking so many solid rules. But yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, this script is really long because it's managing everything, like grounded and the hurt box and the hit box and the when like this census class should be like the center point for that, but not handle everything. Like, yeah. Yeah, exactly, not solid at all. I usually don't like necessarily always program with the solid principles in mind because I never actually studied them like properly academically. I don't know, I do know them, I'm aware of those, and I try to follow some of the principles that I'm familiar with, and that's a good thing, I think, because it's some of my code is going to be cleaner and stuff. But also I shouldn't care about that all the time because at the end of the day there's things that you just need to do a certain way, and maybe those things just break those rules, and that's fine because game dev is like that. So yeah, whatever. Anyways, where else do I have that? And I think I'm going to, yeah, do this, and that's going to be the stream, okay? So grounded, do I need, yeah, here I only need this. Okay. Yeah, now the thing is, I'm like every time I enter a state, well, whenever I enter a state for the first time, I'm going to get this. I guess that's fine. Okay. Ground detection, now I can remove this, and then I can go here and do again this. Okay. So yeah, I'm repeating code, but that's fine for now. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now, where else? The Quastract is detecting environment. I don't even remember what that had, but I'm going to try to check that. Environment awareness. Okay, now in the enter state. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I want this. Then here I need I think that's the one that this is using. I'm not sure. Okay, that should work. Okay, great. And from here, I think that's everything I needed to fix. Pretty much sure. And from there, I should be able to do the thing I was going to do to fix this. So I'm going to do this really quickly. So ground detection. And I think I should actually just make a prefab out of this. But yeah, for now, whatever. World and ground. And what's the other thing? So 0.08 minus 1. There, perfect. And then 0.11. Then raise 5 and 0.17. Raise width. And then perfect. Now I would do, hey, okay, perfect. And now I would do the same thing with the ledge detection, but that's going to be an interaction area. Well, whatever. Interaction area. Oh, I should actually, oh yeah, that's the thing. This should go under interaction, I think, and senses should be the one that has all of this. Yeah. So the structure will change there. Well, it doesn't matter. So ledge detector, this is going to have the ledge detection. Okay. And then the properties here should be the same, right? World ground. So world ground here, then ray origin 0.53 there. 1.1, 0.24. So those values are the ones I set because that's what worked. Okay, perfect. And then the detector is going to be this. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, here I think this should go here as a prefab variant. And then this ground detection should also be like yeah, I don't know. For now, I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to move it here. And then senses here here's the part where I needed to do this. So now under this environment detection list, I can go and set ground detection and ledge detector, and those are basically the systems, the components that the astronaut is going to use. And maybe in the future I'm going to add more. If I have like wall jumping or something like that, I will do a wall detector or something like that. But yeah, for example, imagine a flying enemy. It won't have this ledge detector because it's flying and doesn't care about ledge grabbing or that kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I wanted to do this in this way. And now the thing is, I need to test this and see if it works at all. So let's see. It might actually not work, but everything should be exactly the same. So let's hit play and let's see what happens. Yeah, there's actually an issue now. So what's happening? This is the set ground detection detect. Yeah, I actually don't really know where the issue is. Check your time. Yeah, I should go now. So yeah, we're gonna leave this. It's part of the actual refactorization of everything that I need to do, so that's fine. I'm going to fix it next time, okay? Which I don't know. I'm not sure when I'm going to stream again. I think on Monday, of course, but maybe tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I might stream directly on Monday. So yeah, that's gonna be the stream for today, okay? Thank you everyone for watching and for chatting. Thank you again for the follow A-Frame. And yeah, as always, join the Discord. You can share stuff there, talk about games, talk about anything you want. You can share your stuff there and get some feedback or whatever. And yeah, and also, if you want to get notified when I go live, other than getting the Twitch notification or whatever, you can go to the Discord and I always notify everyone there. So be sure to join. And yeah, that's gonna be the stream, okay, for today. So again, thank you very much. And yeah, we will see each other again in the next stream. Bye bye.